Hi, I'm Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and in today's video I wanted to show you some ideas on how to turn corners in your borders. Now we have three main types of borders that we see in quilts. We have a more mitered border, or a straight edge border, or one with a cornerstone. Now the ones with cornerstones, a lot of times these will be a piece block or a different colored fabric than what's in the border normally, so you could do anything different in here. It doesn't have to be related to your border. Your border would just start and stop at these 2 points. Now with your mitered borders, what I usually do is have a design that will flow all the way around that corner. And then if I have a straight edge border, a lot of times I will treat it like a cornerstone, because I can always stitch in a seam line here, and that'll give me a stopping and starting point for my borders. So I'm going to use this design here to kind of give you an idea on some borders that you can, corners that you can use in the borders that I showed you previously in the last two videos. And I wanted to start with the borders that had the triangles in it, because I had several of those designs. And as I'm stitching, I would just come around and keep going like this. Now these are the ones with several passes in them. So as I was coming back, I would be doing either filling in the top or the bottom, and then I would come back and then fill the other side. Now when I get to this point, I could make one big loop here and continue on. Or, to make it look a little more pleasing, a little more finished, I would kind of flip that loop and go this direction. And then in this part, I would do something different with my loop. I may do 4 loops in here to fill this in, like this, and then continue on. Or I could do a crosshatch in there, and I think either one of those elements would fit with the design here. I would just go ahead and quilt the X in there and then come down and then continue with this loop here. Now if I was doing a heart design and I was doing this heart, I may come in here and just do something different, like maybe I would do a swirl and then stitch in the ditch and then continue with the heart. And if I could end this, my goal would be to end it so that the heart is coming this direction. I'd want it to end down here. That is one of the things that I have found it makes it easier to do my corners, is if I can end my design at the lower right hand corner. Then I could throw something in here. It could be another heart. It could just be a little bit different style, and I could double that up. I could do a swirl. I could do the crosshatch. I could do maybe a continuous curve and then move on. Now if I was doing a leaf design, leaf designs are really good for a design that you want to just continue on, like in your mitered corner. And we're going to kind of end here. If I have a small border, which usually I do my leaves in small borders, what I will do is continue this stem around like that. If it's a bigger border, then I'm going to put something different in there, and then I might want the leaves to end here, so that I can swoop up in here, and then I could do the swirl. I could do maybe the Greek key design, and just come back out, and then continue on with the leaf design over here, like this. So this is what I mean. Your corner does not have to be the same design as your leaf is. You can use something different. It doesn't have to be the same design as your border. You could do something different in there. Okay, if I am doing a swirl, then I'm just going to continue it on like that. Now if I was doing a pumpkin seed type design, where you're using 2 arcs to make your design, like here, and then I'm going to continue on. This is one that you have to do in a couple of passes. Then I'm going to come and do my second pass, and what I'm going to do in here, I can either put one design in there and continue on, or when I get this design done, when I come up and then back down, go up this direction and cross it and come back down and then continue. Okay, what if you were doing a rickrack design? I like rickracks mostly for sashing, but if you want to use it in a border, you certainly can. And what I would do, I need to mark the center point. And excuse me, what I'm wanting to do is to bring this corner around, and then I'm doing my upper arcs, and then when I come back, the arcs are going like this, and then my goal is to hit that center point or close to it, and then continue on. Okay, if I was doing the clover leaf, I had to stop and think what it was called there for a minute. Okay, we got clover leaf. Come up and do another one. What I would do is go ahead and put a clover leaf in the corner. Just like that. Okay, if I'm doing a coffee bean design, and I showed you several different ways to do that, but this is the basic. What I would do is put one right in the corner, and then just stitch back down that center point and go on. And then I showed you a design that is similar to a tulip, and it's this design here. This one you can also just flow that right into your corner. Okay, and now if you had this design, we're going to end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do this same exact design. I'm going to do something similar. So what I'm going to do is just a simple crosshatch. And then continue. And the reason I'm doing this is because we've got lines crossing in here, and this crossing in there is similar enough that it looks like it belongs. So that's one of my favorite fillers for the corners in that. Okay, now if we're doing ribbon candy, I want to end down here. Now with ribbon candy, when you're thinking of ribbons, one thing that works real well with ribbons are swirls. So I would put a nice big swirl in. So it's not the same design, but it is a curvy design like a ribbon candy. You could also, as long as you're ending in this lower right hand corner there, you could put anything in there that you want. You could do a continuous curve and continue. You could also do the loop design and continue that in there. Okay, now what if we had this design with the teardrop? When we come up here, what if we did a leaf? You could also come up and do the crossed canoes, come back down and continue. Or if you wanted to, you could just put another teardrop in there and then just continue it on. And since this is so big, I would probably put a small one inside it. Give it a little more elegant look. I think it looks nicer that way. So the point is that you don't have to put exactly what is in your border in your corner. You just need something that is similar. Unless you have a cornerstone and you have a different piece of fabric in there, or you have a piece block, and then you could throw anything in there. Pick out something that you're planning on putting in your quilt. It makes it look a little more cohesive, and I think you'll be just fine. So I hope this gave you some ideas on ways to turn corners in your quilts and your borders, and if you have any other suggestions, please make a comment below. I hope you found this helpful.
Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my newest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.